श्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत नः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामविद्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्। Sairam.
Om Shri Sairam. I offer my loving pranams at the lotus feet of our dearest Swami. I am Divya Gomati, a current batch NLP participant hailing from Tamil Nadu South. I am happy and delighted to welcome each and every one of you for the ninth episode of Satsangatve Nissangatvam, our favorite Sattvam. I now invite Professor Yogindra Verma sir, who is the convener of Sri Sathya Sai National Leadership Program for Self Transformation and State President of Himachal Pradesh, to set the tone for the session.
Sairam, my pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan, Sri Satya Sai Baba. It's indeed a great pleasure to be here with a very senior and a person whose contribution in Satya Sai Seva organization is very significant. Of course, you will come to know about Nrsimhallu when he is introduced. Actually, I wanted to listen to him, which I will do after we get the recording, because here we have a function in Prashanti Nilayam, our Sevadal. We are to hand over to other state. But one thing which I really liked and I appreciate that sir he has selected a topic that is fantastic. You see, life without values, what you can imagine. So life becomes valuable only with the values. That is, I think that what our youngsters, all leaders have to understand that how the values make a difference. Without values, it is just like a fruit without a juice. Without value, man doesn't have any entity. He doesn't have any acceptance. Moreover, what I feel is that without values, one really is not able to realize the purpose of his life. But to talk about the success, we can compensate talent by hard work, by training, but nothing can be compensated if you don't have values, your character, your satisfaction. I just, with a small story, it's the real incident. Nobel laureate C.V. Raman, after retirement, decided to establish scientific institute. And for that, he was to recruit physicists. So he advertised, and number of scientists applied, thinking that even if they are not selected, at least they will meet Nobel laureate. So in the preliminary screening, 5 physicists were selected, out of which 3 were to be selected. And in that interview, Professor Raman will sit himself. Interview was over. In the evening, Professor Raman came out for a walk and he saw that outside the office there was one young man. Oh, he could recognize him that, well, this gentleman came for the interview. So he went to him. Yes, gentleman, what are you doing here? Your interview was not good. You were not selected. No, this gentleman says, sir, I have something else to talk to you. Yes, what is that? Sir, actually, when I went to your office to collect TA, traveling allowance, I was given 7 rupees extra. I told them, see, this is extra. I cannot, because I have not spent it. But the office told that because they have closed the account, so they cannot take 7 rupees back. So, sir, I was waiting for you and take these 7 rupees because these 7 rupees do not belong to me. तो वो 7 रुपए उनको वापस दिए. And Professor Raman has taken these 7 rupees. He walked just 5-7 meters and then came back. And he said, gentleman, you come tomorrow at 10:30 in my office. So next day, this gentleman went to him. Raman said, well, I have created one more post. I have recruited 3 physicists on merit. And I have recruited one person on honesty. So this gentleman started working as scientist. This later on he became US citizen. His name was Subramanyam Chandrasekhar. In 1983, he was awarded Nobel laureate. And then Chandrasekhar Subramanyam, he says, 7 rupees which changed my life, his book. What I am trying to tell you is that the value of value is the real value. And well, that makes a person not only successful, but a person who lives a life with meaning, with accomplishment. And here today we have a very well accomplished personality who's, when I was looking to his profile, a person who has contributed in different fields, and particularly his long association with the Sri Satya Sai Seva organization and with Bhagwan. I'm sure we are going to have a wonderful session, and I wish that all our participants, all our upcoming leaders, they very carefully listen to his each word. Sir, we are really obliged, thankful to you that you spared your time and you are here with us to really bless our students. And we pray, Bhagwan, that we really become his instruments in transformation of self as well as the world. Thank you very much. Jai Sairam.
Sairam.
Thank you so much for your loving words, sir. Every time, Sattvam has its own style of conveying Swami's message. Let's now see what our dear Sattvam have for us today.
In a dimly lit room, a boy sits at his study desk, staring at his marks card. His fingers tremble as he picks up a red marker and starts altering a grade. Just then, Sattvam snatches the pen. Sattvam asks,
What are you even doing?
The boy, startled and frustrated, responds,
I can't show them this. I need their signature.
Sattvam, calm but serious, replies.
Do you think he would approve?
The boy shrugs dismissively.
Who cares?
Sattvam picks up the flyer, showing the glowing Sarvadharma symbol. Sattvam looks at him for a moment
Nothing is gonna change.
and softly says,
Really?
Alone now, the boy slumps back into his chair. His phone buzzes. A WhatsApp message from the Samiti group. You must be the change. Let the change begin with you. The world will change when you change. Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Frustrated, he opens Instagram. His thumb pauses on a post. The 5 human values of Sai: Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa. He lingers briefly on the word Satya. Images flood his mind. A teacher yelling at him in class, his parents looking disappointed, classmates avoiding him. A memory flashes of him sitting outside the Samiti while others sing bhajans joyfully inside. He stares at a blank page in his notebook. A voice echoes in his mind.
Lying, hiding, running. Is this who you are meant to be?
The next morning, with frustration, he walks slowly towards the Samiti dressed in whites. A banner outside reads, "One-day workshop, valuing life through the values of Sai." He stands for a moment, hesitant, then takes a deep breath and walks inside. Sri Srinivasulu Huggahalli addresses the youth with a calm and loving smile. Participants sit upright, taking notes as he writes the 5 values on a whiteboard. That evening, Sattvam appears quietly beside him and smiles and asks him, "How was the workshop?" Sattvam follows the boy in silence. The boy slowly walks into the living room, holding the same marks card untouched. He stands before his parents and hesitantly speaks,
These are my real marks. I want to change with the truth.
His parents exchange glances and silently nod. His mother holds his hand with tears. She reaches out and clasps his hand, pulling him into a quiet embrace. No words are spoken, but everything has changed. In the corner, Sattvam watches with a gentle glow and whispers,
Sathya.
Now transformed, the boy is seen helping a classmate, participating in bhajans at the Samiti and writing regularly in his diary. Back at his room, Sattvam and the boy are seen ending their day with a powerful discourse of Swami.
ఈనాటి మానవతా విలువలు అత్యవసరమైనటువంటివి.
Human values are most important today.
మానవునితోనే ఆవిర్భవించినటువంటివి ఈ మానవతా గుణములు.
In fact, the human values had their origin in man.
మానవతా గుణములు ఎక్కడో గ్రంథం నుంచి కానీ గురువుల నుంచి కానీ బోధింపబడి సాధించేటువంటివి కాదు.
Human values are not found in any of the texts, nor imported, nor exported, nor cultivated.
మన నిత్య జీవితం లోపల సత్యమైనటువంటి కర్మలు ఆచరించి సత్యమైన భావములను మనం అభివృద్ధి పరుచుకున్నప్పుడు ఈ మానవతా విలువలు మన వెంటనే జంటనే ఇంటనే ఉండి మనల్ని కాపాడుతూ ఉంటాయి.
And once you follow the path of the truth and undertake the truthful activities, you will have the human values with you.
ప్రేమ స్వరూపులారా,
Embodiments of love.
మీరు నేర్చే విద్యల కంటే,
More than the education you acquire,
చేసే శక్తుల కంటే,
more than your actions,
మానవతా విలువలను మాత్రం పోషించుకున్నప్పుడు సర్వశక్తులు కూడాను అవి అంతర్భూతమై ఉంటాయి.
then once you uphold the human values, all the rest will follow automatically.
It is my honor and privilege to introduce to you a truly inspiring personality, Sri Srinivasulu Huggahalli, an accomplished professional and a humble devotee. He has been with Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba since the year 1964, an association that spans over 61 years. Professionally, he served in the key leadership roles as the CEO and president in the renowned Birla and Dalmia international groups. With over 35 years of experience, he has led greenfield projects in oleochemicals, power, and textiles, establishing manufacturing units across India, Malaysia, and other Southeast Asian countries, building international marketing centers in the USA, Europe, and the Far East. Several of these pioneering projects were backed by the International Finance Corporation, a wing of the World Bank. In the divine mission of Sri Sathya Sai, Sri Srinivasulu played a vital role as a Samiti member and district president in Hyderabad, and later as the All India head of the Sai Tech mission for 17 years. Under his leadership, the tech mission implemented simple, sustainable, self supporting, and environment friendly rural solutions. These include initiatives in clean drinking water, sanitation, agro based systems, and solar power, touching thousands of rural lives. He credits every step of his journey to the direct grace and guidance of our beloved Bhagwan. We are honored to have you, sir. Let us welcome with reverence and gratitude Sri Srinivasalu Huggahalli. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. With the pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Swami, with loving greetings to all of you. Thank you very much for being with me tonight, in spite of several avocations to do have. When we are in Sai organization, it's quite common the strangers and acquaintances ask us, what is our experience with Sai Baba? Is he God? Etc. Normally, the derived experience from Swami, we always derive experience from Swami's literature or through speeches or from devotees. But these memories fade away with time. But then direct interaction with him will always be remaining lifelong permanently. Tonight, I just want to share some of those learnings from Sai, particularly to the youth fraternity. The years of my association with him and the organization and society. That is the values of life given by Bhagwan. This subject will enhance, I am very sure, the knowledge to excel in your endeavors. In this context, I am reminded to share with you an interaction with our beloved Swami in 1983 in Shivam, Hyderabad. Our Sevadal coordinator, as per normal practice, was reading to Swami the activity report. He went on to describe Narayana Seva, village services, medical services, and the whole lot of it. After listening, Swami said, I'm very happy to learn this. But then he asked him and all of us, what did you get or achieve by these services? Is there any learning personally on account of these tasks? We were silent. Then he said, Magaru, all these services are mere platforms for you to benefit from your personal sadhana and redeem your life with good karma in your spiritual bank. Don't think you are serving them. In fact, you are served by them with an opportunity to you. Maybe there will be some spillover effect over them. You mean the medical services, etc., will give them solace? Maybe yes, for a short time, temporarily. Sure, I will take care of them where you left. But you must provide some permanent joy to these folks as well. What does this teach us? It means our services need to have a combined effect of cleansing our own shortcomings in our life. Our seva must be with pure love in action in the form of service to the needy, poor, and everyone at all times unconditionally and without expectation in return. That's what he said. For this, you need to have and acquire some knowledge and application of values in life more than having simple experience with God given attributes through sadhana, which means not simply be nearer and proximity of the indweller, but also obey the commands of God in order to transform yourself from human level to the divine level. I recall several years ago, Swami asked us, what is the purpose of life? Swami several times asked this question, you all know that. So we all know the answer. So our group members said, to attain God, Swami. One said, to become divine. One said, to realize divinity resident in ourselves. One said, I am God. Swami was listening and smiling all the time. Swami said, oh, it's wonderful to know. You understand. But this is an adhyatmic understanding, Bangaru. What I am asking is laukikamu, that is materialistic need. So no one could answer. Swami said, Bangaru, it is so simple. What we seek and look for is simple happiness in one's life. Is it not so? What a stunning reality indeed. He further went on to say, we must realize not the temporary happiness in routine, life, that are passing clouds, but permanent happiness, and that is ananda or joy or bliss. That which is internal, acquired only from the internal divinity. He said, your mother loves her children only for her happiness. He said, happiness is also union with God. For this, one must have not only belief alone, but paripurna viswasam, total faith. That is, following everything God has asked you to do. For example, duty, devotion, discipline, discrimination, prayer with love. Those with such attitudes will generate pure love and realize the indweller and draw his grace. Follow that, say. Here prayer means praying always to the indweller. Like what? He said, I want Sai, I want Sai, I want Sai. Like that. Don't pray for petty material things. I may grant them out of pure love and compassion, that which you desire. But by this act, we will miss what I want to give you for your permanent happiness. Divinity knows what is good for you, remember. No, for establishing such things in life, you must become a sadhak. Through what? Through sadhana. Sadhana here means, sa means nearer, dearer, and all that. And dhana means wealth, not material wealth, but spiritual wealth. Finally, all this only for your transformation. The task and questions are, how do we acquire this joy in our life? Permanent happiness or joy is in us, not outside. How we get that is the biggest challenge in life. Nowadays, what do we all want in our life? Is again permanent happiness. And for those with faith in divinity, grace of God, when we join a college, we need a qualification, good marks and a certification. When we apply for a job, we need to have a qualification. For everything in life, we need a arhata or eligibility. We need to hard work, honestly and sincerely for this life, in this life, is it not so? Why do we do all these things? Because it is a faith and assumption of achievement that these efforts being happiness in life. We asked the question, but do you have the same level of faith in divinity as you have in other things? You and your parents spent a lot of money and even time borrowed. Why? To achieve a high level of education, going overseas. Why? Because you and they have faith. By this, you will get a good job, place and respect, earn money, comfortable living for the future. But then, do you have or shown even an iota of faith in me when I promised you that please rely on me and I will take care of you? Then how can you expect grace and response from me? But don't we need an arhata or eligibility to obtain grace of God? He asked. Currently, I am very surely, mostly we are pursuing professional careers. The outcome and purpose are purely for living only, for prosperity, comfort, security of the family. There is nothing wrong. We should do that anyway. But we should do that, but this is also will lead to endless, continuous pursuit and fear and uncertainty. There are two ways. But Swami taught us about life and challenges. These are two different things indeed. In life, along all with those good things, one has to face disappointment, losses, rebuke, abuse, hatred, and a variety of failures in spite of you being wealthy, healthy, and intelligent. How will one face it? Your wealth, influence, and position will not support you or help you out from the mental agony, suffering, emotions, anger, hatred, frustration, and maybe finally leading to suicides as well. We have been seeing that in society. That is where Bhagavan's life teachings and values and learnings will come to your rescue. As a professional representing Birla and Dalmia and other international groups as a CEO, as introduced, we could establish manufacturing industries, Southeast Asia and India, and marketing centers in the Southeast, Far East, Europe, and United States. As an individual with a normal, average background, how would I do the so-called successful setup? Believe me, trust me. But then how and what? It is just his principles of management, learnings, and value application at work. It's not simply learning, application at work. Home and society only. The human values, principles that we learned from him. That worked marvelous. Believe me, those were the days there were no smartphones, internet. The best practice at that time was to go and meet our clients and banks face to face, traveling all the way at all times. At the same time, we have done several service projects in our techno mission in the organization in rural India. The best of which is, as described, provision of drinking water at the doorstep of each village home by unique approach with his guidance and direction. The kind of service which we received, appreciation, and an award from Harvard University and Times of India International in the United States. I was in Malaysia for 14 years, represented by Birla and Dalmia groups. When I went to Swami to take his permission, while blessing, before I said a word, he said, I know where are you going, and continued, work hard. Remember what I said, bring a good name to the organization, and the rest of it I will look after. He further reiterated when I was the district president in Hyderabad saying, Be in touch with everyone directly. That's value. Work with love and unity. That's exactly what happened thereafter. We established a Sai organization in Malaysia in 1976. I was posted there. And then later we commenced bhajans, showing Bhagwan's music at centers, and even could organize an invitation from the University of Malaysia for a weekly 1 hour human values teaching sessions. Believe me, it's an Islamic country, but the will of the Lord prevailed. He could erect, perhaps in 1987, the first Sarva Dharma stupa in the factory. Even built temples in our factory. That is where Bhagwan will always be with you. Currently, it is all virtual, online, no face-to-face eye contact. And how can one expect love to flow without eye contact? That is why human touch is a must. That's why he said, be in touch with everybody. Not that we had success all the time, but volumes of hard times as well. But there at this time of our learning from Swami will make the journey so smooth. It is purely the values of behavior and principles of management taught by Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai behind this great successful movement. In my career, all the way, it is his teachings that helped me at every minute, minute details that waded through me the most complicated, powerful issues we come by in the management of industrial setup globally. Businesses, marketing, properties, men, material, finances, and your workforce and people. That's the most important thing. It is patience. It is love. It is less reaction from side. Listening, giving others opportunity, treating them equally united. All these things he told me, have this in mind. Bhagavan gave me a step-by-step approach in dealing with our life situations and challenges. It's not difficult, but then you must have the zeal, interest, and yearning and faith to finally practice simple basics. He said, this is where probably the present youth run away with fear and scare. Bhagavan says, this happens because you do simple mistakes and then large mistakes, false steps by the influence, and so you get fear, and so make more mistakes, and then become emotional, and then angry, begin to hate, lose faith. Every word of it, he told me this. You are here to learn, my dear friends, understand and practice, and guide the people in your samitis to lead with these values into a divine path. And while in the process, you must evolve yourself. That is the purpose, he said. But to do that, first you should practice individual sadhana. Acquire enough knowledge to do that. You cannot perform samaja seva without practicing individual sadhana. If you do so, it will be for a temporary period only, and then fizzles out. You will only please your leaders, perhaps, or organization heads, but never, may not be Bhagwan. He said this, I'm telling you. Unless you have faith and practice and walk on divine path first, you can never make others to follow. Be an example. You do first. Once in Hyderabad, we did a biggest service program called Prema Jyoti. I think you heard about it. That came from Prashanti Nilayam. It was for 9 days. Several lakhs of old and new devotees and elite of the city viewed. We were sending daily reports to Swami then. When I told Swami about our grand success of the program, he said very coolly, good. And I said, it anyway happens. But you know the real thing? He said, unity is the secret. Unity brings purity. and purity leads to divinity, he said. So be united, Bangaru, all of you. I am very happy. I've also tasted the outcome as to what happens when the unity is absent. I have a dozen stories about that, but we'll keep it away. I learned them very hard way. Bhagavan's teachings are not for our organization alone. It is for being in the society. Because you are in a society and in non-devotee circle most of the time than in the organization. I have been in Swami fold since 1964 as introduced, and it has been a very slow progress, but steady, but positive for the past 60 years. It is still incomplete and learning only. Such a vast portion it is. I had the first opportunity to be at a Hyderabad Samiti member in 1980, and then district president for 10 years, and then simultaneously as head of the Techno Mission for the past 16 years. This has immensely helped me to learn the process and lead my life with love and joy. There has been tremendous learning from my seniors. This is very important to know. I am saying this because I also want all of you to learn from the people and circumstances around you in life, particularly the nature. That's the best teacher. As you know, it's not possible to meet God physically now, but He has created wonderful people around you. It is most essential and important that every one of us must read Swami's literature, Sanatana Sardi, to update your knowledge. Not WhatsApp messages alone. That is the major difference today. All the conveners must have thorough knowledge on the rules and regulations of the organization in the first place, without which you cannot be an effective convener. I am sharing simply what I have learned, what I have practiced, and at the end, how I am benefited in my life journey and enjoyed and so happy today. Here are some qualifications for grace of God as given by our Master. Grace of God and harmony in life as suggested by him. In our journey to God, we need to check every movement in our life whether or not we understand and practice the following gunas, without which our lives will be incomplete, miserable. We need to verify whether or not you have, and if you are not, then improve your sadhana in learning and practicing. Practice this silently, and you will see yourself how happy you are going to be. Now, because currently there is no balance. What is important for balance? People have learned the technology for living only, but nothing on spiritual that balances your life. Knowing the first part of it is more dangerous to society and self, because there is no balance and harmony in your life. So both are important. How is that possible? What should you learn? And how do we practice is the question. Now, let us learn from him first what he said. He said once to me when I was in a low level, we must have a mission in our life. Then you must have a passion to take that forward, your mission. To run your mission, you need to have knowledge to operate. But this mission should be executed with love all the way. Even this is not enough, he said. You must also have some sacrifice as well. For all this, he said, you must have avagahana. Avagahana means understanding. Understanding the concept of divinity, the indweller. Realization of the truth that you are basically divine. Prema Swarupa, Atma Swarupa, Daiva Swarupa. Only when you have this understanding, you can do acharana. That is the practice. He said, then only you can experience the divinity, that is anubhav. Then only you will have ananda, the joy. Then only you will have sakshatkara, that is the presence of divinity in you. Otherwise, nothing happens. When this happens, then it is divinity that actually works for you, for your success and happiness. This is the secret. We want in our lives that every one of us should love us, like us. Is it not so? But then how can it happen? Unless you become love yourself. Only when you are lovable, adorable, respectable, receivable, and available for people in need and help. Here, love means selflessness, and lovelessness is selfishness. Swartha Rahita is love, and Prema Rahita is Swardham. The greatest gift of God, this is very important, we know, to humanity, is the power of discrimination, he said. Once given by me, God, he cannot take it by even himself. But you have to use it for the welfare of society. If you misuse it, as we all usually do, the consequences will be ours only. God will not interfere. The consequence of misuse, the cause for all miseries and suffering. God will neither punish you nor reward us. He is a witness, reflection, reaction, and a resound. Let us learn some of those beautiful attributes one should apply in their life, and he asked me to do that. There are nearly 58 wonderful divine attributes Swami told us. He is gifted. But we have time constraints. So I will deal with a dozen jewels of joy here that are the basics. The first thing is the prospective attitude, approach. Drukpadam in Telugu. We must know that any decision or situation for a decision in your life or organization has to be examined from all possible angles. Like in a cube, for example, you have a top, you have a bottom, you have a left, you have a right and back. Then consult with the concern and examine whether this will help the society or you. Whether Swami likes this, and even what will Swami do in such a situation. When you do that, this action will be dharmic. And so the outcome as well will be wonderful and happy. You see? The second thing is called the perseverance. Continue effort to do so or achieve despite difficulties, hurdles, failures. He promised his support when you perform service to humanity with love, with perseverance. Never leave it. The next thing is called acceptance. In life, we need to face many good and bad situations. And they are inevitable, as they are karmic consequences. Death is inevitable. Disease is inevitable. Loss of property, loss of kith and kin. Your own children may turn you away. This is inevitable. And you have to accept, have no choice either. Learn to live and let go. Don't hold on. You see? The next is forget and forgive. We must learn to forget and forgive the negatives we receive. Remember the good that we received from others. Don't accumulate and store the negative recipients and boil and ruin your life. The next is forbearance. One must learn to have the capacity to forgive and bear all abuse and negativity with received. Because both of them will come to me only, he said. The most important thing is the generosity. Be very generous in giving like forgiving. The more you give away, the more you will have for giving. But then also carefully measure the need, eligibility. You should never be careless or reckless. The next one is gratitude. You must exhibit gratitude to your parents, teachers, people who made you somebody in your life and stature, and people who supported and helped you in your life, especially the divinity. The next is patience. Show patience and restraint, control, caution, and wait for your turn at the right time. It will come, not the way in which you think. There's no hurry. The next is called compassion. Show compassion all the time, specifically to the poor people, and the needy. The biggest thing is love. Love all and serve all. This is not an infatuation or moham, vatsalyam, physical relationship or attachment. This is divine love without any expectation or unconditional. When this happens, there, love will flow from the giver and receiver, both sides. The next is humor and humility. Must be humble, simple, and honest in all your dealings. Spirituality doesn't mean you to be serious and unconnected, drawing a private circle around you with a cast iron face. Must have a subtle smile as your signature. This is what I said, believe me. The next is obedience. Must be obedient and respectable, at the same time not exhibiting dramatic overaction, especially to your seniors for hidden favors. It is his observation, believe me. Now let us learn some of the most important lessons that he taught me by example, involving me in practical situation as an instrument during my association. These are not published anywhere, so carefully listen. They are ego, show, pomp, collection of money. Don't collect money, ask me. Don't beg outside. Be in your limits. For the youngsters, he was saying, be in your limits of family sampradayas. Don't go out of the way. I am in you always resident. Call me, ask me. Swami condemns and expects us to check, control our emotions, actions, behavior as we grow in our life. Now let me narrate one by one. Ego is the hidden thief, and believe me, he blew it once. In 1984, I asked Swami permission to go around Puttaparthi Taluka to repair drinking water bore wells in villages. Swami was very happy and gave me permission. So I gathered an expert team and went nearly to 39 villages from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. in a 1 week time. By this time, we were elevated, proud of our work because we gained expertise. On the last day, Swami directed us to meet him at 7 a.m. at Mandir. As usual, we went out for service, and while doing a complicated repair, when suddenly a boy of 12 years appeared on the scene and told me, "Sir, I have seen that this won't work." Huh? My pride began to seep in. I dismissed him arrogantly. I was furious and said and boasted and brushed him off, saying, "Oi, we are experts. And we did 39 wells, boy, already, and I know everything." So saying, we completed the assembly and started the well. Shockingly surprised, not a drop of water came. So I looked around, asked for the boy, what and why did he say it don't work? Another surprise is, the boy was nowhere. I asked the village folks, and they said that there is no such boy in the village, sir. By this time, it is already past 7 p.m., and we are worried that Swami will be waiting for us. I asked our team to open the well again to check. Alas, we did an unpardonable simple mistake with a reverse washer. Now it suddenly dawned on me how my ego has been shattered. The realization of my ego's interference stuck very hard on me. Swami had orchestrated a lesson through himself being there as a boy to humble me and confirmed it through his messenger. I prayed to Swami for help. We repaired and started, and then it started working beautifully. Okay. We rushed to Parthi at the gate. We saw our All India President waiting for us and asked me, "Hey, Srinivasulu, what happened to you?" Swami told me he is giving a very good lesson to you. What is that lesson? He told me that you are not coming now, so I will see him tomorrow. That is our Swami. He is with you, correcting all the time. The next one, Swami does not like pomp, show, pradarshana for nidarsana. In order to prove that he is divine, we don't have to do any exhibition or advertising. That's what he said. Once a cinema producer friend produced a film on Swami and prayed to Bhagavan to see the film. Swami was dodging for a few months. One day, while we were sitting at Prashantilayam along with seniors, Bhagavan came to me straight and told me, "Hey, the producer made a film, so you see that and let me know." I said, "Okay, Swami." After some weeks, the producers came running to me telling, "Sir, today Swami agreed to see the film and I organized the show this evening at the college. Please come." I and my colleagues were scared because Swami did not tell us. How can we go? So one senior, late Sri Narendra Garu, said, "Don't worry, sir. Let us go. After all, it is our Swami, a festive day, and our Swami, the Lord, even if he scolds us, it's a blessing. Let us go." He gave an assurance. The producer arranged seats for all 11 of us, just behind Swami's seat. At 6 p.m., Swami came and looked back and nodded and said, "Oh, all the Vinayaks have arrived. Very good, very good." The film started. And it's a wonderful product showing the grandeur of Swami, miracles and some songs, etc. We were enjoying every bit. Suddenly Swami got up and left. We thought probably Swami had another important engagement. We saw the film in total and thought the producer will definitely give a chain or a ring that day. The next morning at 7 a.m., he used to come early in those days, Swami came for darshan and came straight to me and us. He was disturbed and looked very annoyed. He said, "Why are you showing that film? What is so great and good there? Do you think I am like all other Swamis? Don't produce such things. I don't like that pomp and show business. Please burn the film," said Swami. I said, "Swami, we'll do that tomorrow." "No, you do it now." And he left. I told the producer, and he, like a very good obedient devotee, burnt the film then and there. And we reported Swami had done that. Next episode, he doesn't encourage organization or anyone collecting money from others and conducting services, programs, or projects and giving him. Once I recall, we had an international youth conference in Bangalore. And we were all sitting in the Whitefield Ashram rooms and discussing the various aspects. One of which is free food service. I was a member of the committee, so I was there taking notes. And most of the state presidents were offering various kinds of groceries and materials for the function. One state president who was conducting the meet suggested, "Why should we collect these materials? As some may send more and some may send less. At the end, we don't know what to do with the excesses." So he suggested that why don't you all send an equivalent amount of money so that we can buy what we need and what quantity we need. Everybody around applauded and agreed for this wonderful idea. So we were preparing the list of such donors. The meeting concluded and we all left the meeting happily. Most of them went to Bangalore city to visit and shop. In the afternoon at 4 o'clock, darshan time, myself and two other seniors who conducted the meet were sitting in Bangalore. Swami came straight to us and started banging us profusely. People all around are thinking, oh, Swami, you've got a great lance. He's talking so beautifully to you. Swami said, why are we collecting money when you know that I hate that? This is what he said. I don't want you to do anything. Please go home this year. I will do the program with you all, without all of you. Lastly, I asked those people not to come here from tomorrow. Tell those people as my order and command. Did you hear me? To repeat this, he was so. I said, okay, Swami. This is very important for youngsters, please. His strong advice to youth on following parental guidance and following family achara and traditions and sampradayas. This is a very important thing. Once in 1996, Swami called the youth for a meet at an unusual time of 6:30 a.m. in the Purnachandra Hall. Some seniors were also there. I was there. As he came, he ordered all the Purnachandra shutters to come bring down and not to record anything, the proceedings. He talked about the upcoming projects first, and suddenly he moved on youth moral behavior. He said, you all guys think that Swami is liberal and allows all people to do one and does not have any caste and religion formalities and dharmas? He severely condemned such thoughts in the current youth. He said and directed us to follow the Acharya Dharmas, Sampradaya, following the directions of elders and parents. Don't go out of the way, marrying other caste girls or boys in the name of love. He said it could be infatuation, physical attraction. Such unions may not last long on account of maybe food habits, cultural deviations, incompatibility, and adjustments. If the parents don't accept, follow them for your good, and if necessary, convince them. Otherwise, this is important. Your wife could become a knife. Be careful. The next one, he doesn't like subscriptions, donations, collecting money for service and advertisements and grandeur. He said, if you need money or anything, ask me, don't beg, don't beg. Once Swami declared to our group, don't beg for money, collect in the name of subscription to create bank accounts, etc. He said, people are starting making accounts in banks. I don't like that. Ask me, I will make it rain in gold. In Telugu, he said, Kanaka Varsham Kurpista. This is a powerful statement. I could not be understood as how can one go to Swami and say, I want money? Not physically. The moment this thought came to me, he cleared it by saying, no, listen, when you do a service sincerely, honestly, for the poor and needy, for Lokah Kalyanartham, somebody from somewhere and nowhere will come forward on behalf of me and help you for sure. I really enjoyed such moments in life. That's why I'm telling you. In a few months, he proved me by an incident what he meant by that. For a birthday, our kitchen needed some vegetable oil, and I volunteered to send it, and was accepted by Swami. But then someone told me that this is not enough, sir, not sufficient, and may require more that year. There was no choice. As my resources dried up, and cannot ask anybody, as Swami's direction is like that. So I sincerely prayed to him in Hyderabad, Swami, help me, Swami, help me. Surprisingly, a friend of mine from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, Dr. Chiheng, his name, called me on the phone and said, "Hey, Srini, I want to send some money to our birthday, Swami. Please accept and do whatever good you think. You don't have to tell me what you did." I was delighted. Thank Swami in my heart. You see how he responds. Then we were in Parthi in the kitchen, and our senior committee members on 21st of November evening told me, "Srinivasulu, the oil supplies are almost over, and we need more for the last 2 days, which is going to be very high consumption. What do we do?" I said, "Don't worry. Since I had the money sent by my friend, immediately I ordered and paid for more supplies. After payment, I was left with rupees 2,729 in my pocket. Believe me, 2,729. On 22nd, while we were sitting and reviewing the day's works, suddenly a lorry came and delivered the required quantity of oil. Everyone was delighted. Suddenly, the lorry driver came to us and delivered an invoice. You know the value? Exactly 2,725, which is the transport charge. I was pleasantly shocked and pleased to see that, because that is the exact amount left in my pocket. That is remaining from the money that I received from my Malaysian friend. This is divine calculation, and precisely divine acts like that. Now we see and note that Swami kept his promise. When you ask him and pray, this is how he does it. It's not once, many times it happened. So please follow this. Now next is very important. He is an indweller and so knows and listens to everything we whisper and responds always. When Swami is in Kulwant, he will always be in touch and conveying messages in their own language. At the same time, with each one sitting there, I have seen this. On a tight festive day, we were sitting far away in the eastern side pillar. 11 of us, Swami calls it Vinayaks. There were some chairs placed in front of us, obstructing Swami's darshan. So I remarked, "What is this? How can we see him? Either they should remove the chairs, or Swami Simhasana should be raised by another 2 feet. What a thought I had. At this juncture, Swami just emerged from Yazur Mandir and came in from the west side. As he walked into the center, he looked at me. Now, when he wants to look at me, you know what he is looking at you. You won't miss it. And signaled to me, "Come on." I was stunned and signaled back to him saying, "Is it for me or is it for all of us?" He signaled back saying, "All of you." We ran up to and sat right on the dais, right onto his right side. You see how it helps? He does that because he's inside. Dear friends, one of the biggest thing that is when you are in constant integrated awareness, contribution of the teachings, automatically they work for you without knowing at that point in time. All your decisions will be righteous. A few years later, you will be surprised how you should do all these things. And then it asks you at that time, who did this? It is Bhagavan. One last thing we are concerned about today is the perils of the modern world. That is social media, internet, porno sites, alcohol, drugs, internet frauds, betting apps, children playing with gadgets freely, and people working for easy money and prey. We have a social responsibility. This is what he told us, please. Their own circles and friends and groups and take suitable action. Watch them, report, correct, and guide people around. The youth has a definite responsibility and role in this, not keep away from this and going only watching. When we follow his teachings, we will have everlasting joy and peace. And this is true even in failures and adverse situations. Let me express, we come to an end now, my gratitude and love to our Swami and Dr. Gopikrishna and Swati Garu for creating this opportunity to share with all of you. Let us pray to Swami to grant wisdom to follow and apply his teachings in our life and spread this message. Jai Sairam, Samastha Lokah, Sukhino, Bhavanthu. Jai Sairam. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for those pearls of words. Dhanyavad, sir. Sir, with your permission, we would like to proceed for the question answer session.
Sure.
सर, आपकी अनुमति से हम अभी प्रश्नोत्तर सत्र की ओर बढ़ेंगे। बहनों और भाइयों, आपसे अनुरोध है, आप कृपया अपना हैंड रेज करें और जब आपका नाम बुलाया जाए तब आप एक एक करके अनम्यूट करके अपना प्रश्न पूछ सकते हैं। कृपया अपने प्रश्न छोटे और संक्षिप्त में रखें और एक ही प्रश्न पूछें। Dear sisters and brothers, please queue up for the question answer session. Kindly raise your hands and be patient. When we call your name, you can unmute and go ahead with your question. Kindly keep your question very short and crisp, and only one question should be asked by one participant. Okay, brother Vamsi from Andhra Pradesh, you can unmute and go ahead with your question.
Sairam. Sairam, sir. Sir, thank you for the wonderful session and insights what Bhagwan taught to us and by you. Actually, my question comes under, sir, we all believe in Swami from childhood onwards, and we all believe in parents and everything. We all believe in God. But the question right now is, the surrounded people besides me and who lives the people who besides in my office, everyone is just having a small question that are you believing Swami? Yeah, I said yes. I said when from when you are believing and what basis you are believing. I said it's like Swami is like everyone, Lord Shiva and Vishnu. He is everything to me. So I pray him and I worship him and I surrender him to everyone. But that some type of confidence that pulls out of me that I don't know. I am thinking that Swami never listens to me, and I have many problems which was not to say outside, but Swami never answered to me in any other way. I have did in spoken to Swami many ways, writing letters, doing prayers and meditation, and also sitting beside the Swami and crying and all. But I never got the answer in any other way for some reasons.
Can I answer that?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have two questions actually. One is when you are following Swami, there are other, confusions and questions from other people criticizing you. Swami said very clearly, when you have faith in me, that is Paripurna Viswasamu, meaning if you are doing what I asked you to do, not follow the mind and the body, then definitely you don't have to bother about what other people think. You should bother about your focus and your belief. You should never argue with the people first thing when such situations arise. You can always at the end of that say, he is my God, I will follow. You may have your God. And cut that program. Don't drag it. And you get into unnecessarily worry and tension. This is the first thing. The second thing you asked about it, I've been praying to Swami deeply, but he doesn't answer. He gave a very clear answer to this one. He said, this happens because the faith factor. You must know there are two types of, as God has given you a gift, I told you, that is the power of discrimination. When you use your discrimination has got two parts. The first part is called the free will. That means you do what you want to do the way in which you want to do, the way you like to do, that is the free will you have been given. If you use that free will, the karma factor gets attached to you and does not, Swami, interfere in helping you at all in those problems. But if you take the second part of the discrimination, that is, you consult the conscience, the indweller, he will guide you right path and answers. The answer you will not get if the first part is connected with the worldly affairs. If it is connected with the conscience, he will answer you. That is the thing he said.
Now I would request Sister Tejaswini from Delhi to go ahead. Before that, one more thing, sisters and brothers, you can put your questions in the chat box also. आप अपने सवाल chat box में भी डाल सकते हैं. हम उनको पूछने की भी कोशिश करेंगे. Sister Tejaswini, you can please go ahead.
Sairam, sir.
Yes,
So,
Dalmia.
we all belong to a generation who have not experienced Swami firsthand, only through stories told by people like you or our parents. But nowadays, when we are involved in our organization, not all experiences are extremely positive, a lot of negative, because of course we are working with people doing things. And due to those, we are not able to feel Swami's love constantly. And I'm afraid that this might push me away from Swami, if not now, then later. How should we deal with this? Like, anything from this?
Yeah, it is not, I agree with you, it happens because we happen to be in the proximity of the divine, both in physical form. That experience is different from what you said about, sure. But then we have no choice. So the first thing that we need to realize is, so long Swami was outside as a physical form, and he was form. But what we are talking about is the formless I in you, in the subtle form inside. Therefore, he is available for all the time for you to discuss or question. Like I said, you should be able to ask things for which and for your own good and progress. When you ask for certain materialistic things in your business or work, normally he doesn't answer. I'm not saying he will never answer. He did also. But if the question or your problem is genuine, connected, the conscience will definitely give an idea. But it may not be given at the time when you asked, because he thinks there is a proper time, and whether it does good or not, all that he would weigh, and they'll only deliver that one. So, in the current position, like you said, we are only left with the values that have been laid by him. By following those values and remembering that is the indweller which manages the whole show, you are likely to get definitely good answers. But you need patience. We can't say Monday morning it happens. That has been my experience. When you have a constant integrated awareness, like I said, all these things will easily pass through. I can't compare each experience, but this is what I learned. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Sister Subaratna from Telangana, you can go ahead with the question.
So there'll be some people who would have, by knowing or not knowing, would have hurted us. So, but we'll be seeing that person every day in our life. So how to approach that person?
Well, this is the crux of his teachings actually. Whether he is a good person or bad person or hurting person, Swami said you must extend your love. When you do that, that man who has been hurting will definitely change. That is his advice. First thing is, you should ignore that particular hurt. Forget and forgive, in the real sense of the term. If you don't forget and forgive and go on thinking that fellow is hurting me, it is not he is hurt, but you are hurt in your life badly and ruin your own balance of mind. So you've got to ignore and forget it. You don't have to keep that in your hand. And he gave me one example one day. He asked me to stretch my hand and he has put some water in that. Now he asked me to close the fist. The water fell down. See, if you close your feelings, nothing will remain. Open. Be open. Be clear. Be loving. No reactions from you. Then things will come to your own way. That is what his answer was.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Brother Utsav from Gujarat, you can unmute and go ahead with your question.
Sairam, sir.
Ram?
Sir, very often when I tell people that I follow Satya Sai Baba as my spiritual guide and guru, so there are some individuals who start criticizing, start talking negatively regarding Swami. I feel a little bit annoyed. I get angry. I feel little bit remorse also that I should not have said regarding this to them. So, sir, how should I manage such a situation, sir?
Thank you. This question was asked by somebody also. The point is, you love God and you believe that He is your Guru. First thing. That's a beautiful point to cut off everything. What other people think about you should never be considered by you, as long as you said the first part of it, that I love God, I love my Guru. The moment you start thinking about other people, which you have no control, you got control only on your own way of thinking, which is very positive. So you cannot control the other person's whatever you are thinking. So ignore and be silent. That fellow will simply forget asking you or criticizing anymore. You see, this is the answer he gave me, and I am telling you. Sairam.
Sairam, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. So we have a question in the chat box that kindly tell us about your work-life balance, since you also worked as former CEO and director with Birla and Dalmia Group.
Yeah. In fact, I said this, but I'll repeat that. You see, when you are doing your work and duties, we have to take care and also include the people who are working with you. If you include other people without confining it to your own boardroom, things won't work. So the first lesson that you need to know, whatever you wanted to implement or work on, people share with the people, even if he is a small worker. I recall Mr. Birla, when he conducts a meeting, he also asks all the other people also to come and listen. You know why? When you go out as a CEO, you may tell something different than what I said. So to avoid that thing, the successful point I gained is when I do a thing, I share with other people. So they become a part of this assurances. Oh, sir, I said because of that. So they will propagate that you don't have any problem. That is the first thing. Second thing is, even if you are a CEO or top man, it is very important that you must meet the families of the people who are working with you. I used to have every 15 days a lunch with all the factory people, like in Narayana Seva we did. And that helps you to be in one unity. And that saves. Even if you have to visit the family members of your own workmen and people, that will help you. The next thing is be truthful. Don't hide anything, even if it is distasteful. Okay? The other thing is try to have one study circle meeting in your factory or workplace once in at least a month. That's what I did in another country. In Malaysia, Islamic country, I did that. But I didn't tell anything about God and all that. But the values of life, which Baba told me, and I told you also. So when you do this kind of things, you will have a tremendous support from people. You got it, sir? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sister Sai Prashati from Odisha, you can unmute and go ahead with the question.
Sairam, sir. Sir, you wonderfully talk about working with unity, working with love. But in our professional life, often we come across people who constantly try to pull us down. So how do we deal with them? Actually, but at the same time, they come to us again, and they are smiling, and then we are having our lunch on the same table. So how do we deal with that? I am not able to normalize this thing. I am always thinking, am I into a trap, or how do I deal with it?
Well, I think this is the same question two other people asked me. In fact, like I said, if you have faith, as you declared you have, your point of one should have one pointed faith in the divinity that you believe. That is very clear from you. Now you're only concerned about what other people are thinking. You should never do that. You don't have to bother about what other people are thinking because you cannot control anybody in this world except yourself. So, what is in your control? Your control in your thinking and you're shaping yourself in life. So, why are you bothered about what others people think? Like Swami said once, people call me Buttatala, head. People call me short. Why should I bother when I am short and my head is here? It is true, is it not? So don't bother about it. So he said, don't bother about what other people think. You must bother about what you think, what you follow, what you believe. That is the answer.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
बहनों और भाइयों, समय की प्रतिबद्धता के कारण हम अपने प्रश्नोत्तर सत्र को यहीं पे रोक रहे हैं। आप अपने प्रश्न कृपया अपने LMS पोर्टल के सत्संगत्वे निसंगत्वम एपिसोड 5 के फोरम में डाल सकते हैं। हम उन्हें एकत्रित करके अपने गेस्ट से उनके जवाब लेके आप तक जरूर पहुंचाएंगे। Sisters and brothers, due to the paucity of time, we will stop with the question answer session here. You can post your questions in your LMS portal in the Satsangatve Nissangatvam episode 5 forum, which will be opened shortly. We will collect your question and forward it to sir. And as soon as we receive the answers, we will reach out to you. Now, I would request the convener of Sri Sathya Sai National Leadership Program, Dr. Gopi Krishna Pidatala sir, to kindly say a few words.
Sairam, Sairam, everybody.
Hi, Gopi.
Sairam, uncle. Sairam, uncle. It's always a great pleasure to see you, to meet you, to talk to you, and I'm so blessed to have worked with you also. Uncle, I'm traveling back from Ladakh, from Kargil, so I'm in the bus. So please look, please don't mind, the some wavering moments as I'm traveling. First of all, children. The persona that actually spoke to you, apart from his accomplishments in his life and whatever, the introduction that we gave, I would say that I have never ever met such a kind of a person in my life. He was my first district president for more than 2 decades. Apart from the learnings that I got personally from Swami, I think, just knowing Srinivasulu uncle, seeing him, the way he operates, the leadership that he brought into the district of Hyderabad, and as a Hyderabad youth group, how he helped us move forward, and the intellectual capacity that he has, and the smiling face. Most important thing, I was listening to what he was saying about the 12 jewels and many aspects about financial things and everything. Remarkable things that I should say that I still follow them even today. This is one of the greatest and best thoughts that have been delivered today. And you're all indeed blessed, I'm telling you, because he has been personally guided at a very high level by Bhagwan. There are very few people, I would say that, who have been guided at such a level. And it took me, to tell you all, about 2 years to convince him to come and talk to us. Or more than that, uncle, it took me 3 years, I should say.
Your love.
It was not an easy task, but so delays are not his denials. So first of all, I think, we should thank Srini uncle. I think for me, he's not only an uncle, he's like a fatherly figure. And all that he has told today, I'm telling you, implement into your life, also at your work, and you'll shine very bright. मैं ये कहता हूँ कि अगर मेरा जैसा आदमी थोड़ा बहुत शाइन कर रहा है जिंदगी में, ऐसे लोग जो हमें पढ़ाए हैं, हमें दिखाए हैं लीडरशिप क्या है, इस वजह से हमने थोड़ा बहुत शाइन कर रहे हैं. सो आप भी लगे रहिए, एंड दिस इज अ ग्रेट अपॉर्चुनिटी, एंड थैंक यू फॉर कमिंग ऑन बोर्ड अंकल. We wish you a very, very long life and great blessings from Swami. And and it's a beautiful session today. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Thank you, uncle.
Thank you.
थैंक यू सो मच सर. बहनों और भाइयों, व्यक्ति अपने खूबसूरती से नहीं बल्कि अपने कर्मों और विचारों से सुंदर होता है. Let us all be beacons of that positivity, truth, and the divine love ourselves, and be instruments of Sai in spreading these messages far and wide. Let us all put our hands together to thank our beloved Bhagwan for bringing us all together for this wonderful satsang session today and giving us a wonderful start to this week ahead. Words of gratitude to Sir Srinivasulu for giving us the value jewels of Sai in order to lead a valuable life, namely selfless love, perseverance, acceptance, and forgiveness, to name a few. I thank the conveners of Sri Sathya Sai National Leadership Program, Professor Yogendra Verma sir and Dr. Gopi Pidadala sir, for always being with us and guiding us. Thank you, dear sisters and brothers, for joining in, being so enthusiastic, and making this satsang so wonderful and blissful today. Last, I would like to thank each and every member of our organizing team for their relentless work for so many days in putting together this blissful satsang. Dear sisters and brothers, as in the beginning Swami said, you must be the change. Let the change begin with you. Thank you and Jai Sairam. Let's proceed for the Shanti Mantra.
Samastha Lokah Sukhino Bhavanthu. Samastha Lokah Sukhino Bhavanthu. Samastha Lokah Sukhino Bhavantu. Om